So today we're going to be working on this 97 EZGO TXT golf cart. It was a Facebook Marketplace find. Batteries are dead, brakes are seized, it's got ATV tires on it that are blown off the rim. But let's see if we can get this thing fixed. So we got another project golf cart. This is an EZGO TXT, I believe, 1997. It's got 2017 batteries in it. So they're looking at about 7 years old or 8 years old in this thing. Came with a couple extra parts. One of the brakes were stuck, so I undid that cable underneath and got it freed up. But first we're going to start by pulling all these batteries because I don't have a charge, and just trying to throw in some automotives. It looks like it's a 36 volt system, and just see if we can get the thing to operate before we try to invest anything into it. Alright, so we got all the batteries out of there. Looking nice and rough. And we're just going to go ahead and shop vac all the crap out of here, maybe hit it with some air, and then we'll get to checking some wiring because some random stuff unhooked, like that guy, that little guy right there. So pull up a wiring diagram, just make sure nothing looks like it's out of place, and then we'll probably just try throwing some batteries at it. Alright, so back out here working on the golf cart, and we've done a little bit of testing. I'll just kind of show you what we got going on here. So we've got 38 volts across these terminals. 38 volts. 38 volts coming into the solenoid. 33. Probably just bad connection somewhere on there. Just had 38. And then we got the other side of the solenoid coming up to the voltage controller. It says we're getting 1.2. So if we give the throttle, solenoid clicks. Now we're getting 36 volts across there. So we are getting power into the voltage controller. So we're going to see if the forward reverse switch is functioning properly as well. All right, just for the age of this thing, I'm going to go ahead and hop in here and pull out this speed controller and just clean up all the contacts so I can get it to pull apart and not break it. So just went ahead and painted these. So I got red, purple, kind of yellow, and pink. Then just already kind of got an idea where the rest of these plugs go. So I'm going to pull the speed controller out of here, clean it, and we'll kind of go from there. I am noticing that I do not have the pre-charge capacitor, I believe is what it is. So all the wiring diagrams are showing positive. Just wire coming in right here, going to a resistor or a pre-charge resistor first, and I do not have that. So that could be part of my problem as well. So after unbolting the 4 motor terminals and then disconnecting all the small wires that are on spade connectors, you got 2 mounting bolts there at the bottom, there, and this whole thing slides up, and then you slide it off the shaft there, and it's in your hand. So let's go take it apart. Alright, so got into it now. Just took off this bolt right here, which would have been on the back side of this. So with the nut and the washer, this whole thing slides out, and the contacts are looking very, very clean. And then here, overall, pretty daggone clean. But we're gonna get this just scrubbed up a little bit better, re-grease it, and we'll put it back together. But I doubt this was a problem at all. Alright, so that all looked pretty good. We threw some grease back through that shaft, tightened it down, and now we're all back in action. Get it started back in the cart. Alright, so we got everything hooked back up. Looks to be right. So that little thing dangling off of this side, this guy right here, is the 250 ohm 5 watt resistor that's supposed to keep the controller pre-charged or something like that. And then this right here that's broken off was the diode. So I don't need the diode to make it run, but it is a protection item for, I guess, back voltage or something like that. But it looks like a lot of these won't run without the resistor in. So I'm going to tie a little lead onto this edge right here and then put this back in. That just goes from this terminal to this terminal, and we'll see if we can get this thing to actually operate. All right, so we got the new resistor made up. I did verify it was still the right resistance with the meter, so just soldered on, soldered on a little lead, put a new ring terminal on it, and now we'll throw it back in. All right, so we got that wired in, going from here across up onto this terminal. So let's fire it up and see what it wants to do. No indication the motors want to do anything. Throw it in reverse. I did disconnect the beeper on that. That was really annoying. All right, so more issues to come. All right, so continuing diagnostic here. Put that in. That didn't change anything. We've checked output voltage on motor negative to positive with the throttle pressed in. We got nothing. Checked ITS on the white pin down here. It's like the speed control of that, and it is functional. So it looks like we have a bad speed controller. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start unhooking stuff and tearing this out, see what we can figure out. All right, so we got the controller out and open. So to open it, I just kind of came in the front and pried a corner out at the bottom here, and then you want to get you got to use something thinner than a screwdriver to kind of get that open. You can kind of see where I broke it a little bit right there, and then just take your screwdriver, kind of slide it down here, not going very deep, and then you can pop it off this ridge right here, and then do the same thing to the other side, kind of get into there, work it out, and then just kind of come in, slide it down. That pops out. You can see where it kind of let the smoke out in here. We got some burn spots over there, so that would go on this way. So we're gonna look at this corner, and that honestly, yep. So we got some resistors right there that let the smoke out, and then real bad on this other side here. Got some more resistors burnt there, and then some probably MOSFETs burn up right there. So I don't know how well I can get into this thing, just based on how it's layered in. I don't know how it comes apart, but we'll continue to look at it. And you might just have to take out all those 100 screws, and then you can finally separate it from the big heat sink. That MOSFET's burnt there too. So I'll look these up, see if they're available, try to figure out how many are bad. And March 5th, 97 manufacture date. So a little diode right there. Try to figure out how many of those MOSFETs are bad, and then question if we're going to try to repair this thing. So I had a buddy over, and we kind of jumped ahead testing the motor to see if it was any good, and it turns out that it's not functional. So I already jumped ahead and tore it all apart. Pretty sketch trying to get the winding out, or like the actual like main motor shaft itself out of that rear bearing. Took it over to the press, gave a little bit of heat, and we got it out of there. But all 4 of our brushes are completely seized. That's probably why our motor wasn't running. So we're gonna get this brush assembly pulled out of here and see if we can get them freed up. All right, so we got 1 brush freed up. We got 3 more to go, but that's what we're supposed to do right there. All right, so we got all the brushes cleaned, got the comm bar cleaned off a little bit. Everything is floating again in there, so throw the motor back in the cart and see if this thing works. So we set the motor back in, got the woundings jumped, so hopefully it'll start. If you want to touch that lead over there to the battery for me.
Positive or negative?
This negative right here. Nope. Still getting nothing out of it. All right, so change the motor wiring, and it's actually running now. So motor is now functional. I think that vibration is the brakes are a little bit stuck on the cart from where they got corrosion in the drums from them being stuck on, but motor's good. If you hung around this long, just want to say thank you, and feel free to like and subscribe if this is the kind of content you're into. Next episode on this golf cart, we will try to either repair or maybe just replace a speed controller. Just all depends on if I can find the parts for it. And always, thanks for watching.